In this tutorial, we're going to talk about SCUTA and Office 365 calendar integration. SCUTA Office 365 calendar add-on setup is what we're going to be covering during this part, and a little bit about the the ability to configure it for importing and exporting. So first of all, you need to purchase the SCUTA Outlook calendar add-on. It's not default. A lot of people do not use any calendar integration. Others use Google Calendar and some use Outlook Calendar. So this is about the SCUTA Outlook calendar add-on. In order to do this, first of all, you must have purchased it. Second, we're going to register the SCUTA Web app on your Azure Active Directory. And finally, we're going to configure the SCUTA calendars. So first, go to your SCUTA user profile and see if you have the calendars tab. If you don't have the calendars tab, you need to purchase it. Next, click on the calendars tab. Now you'll be able to see you've got a spot for authenticating with Outlook, authenticating with Outlook 365. We need to register the SCUTA Web app in your Azure Active Directory. To get to the Azure Directory, you can click here on the link, and it's www.portal.azure.com. After you do this, pick your account, and you'll be logging in. Next, you're going to click on the Azure Active Directory, and then we're going to click on the app registration. We're going to create a new, so click where it says add, where it says new registration. And now on the inputs, specify the name as SCUTA. Specify you've got the accounts here. And now we're going to say this is the redirect. It's optional, but again, this is where we have authentication. This is where SCUTA knows if you are able to log into your account or not. So this is where we get the authentication. This is important. Specify that it's a web, and now go back to SCUTA, and where you see authentication here, click here on this icon, and you'll be able to copy this URL. The URL is https://www.myscuta.com/auth Office 365. It's very important. It's case sensitive. So copy this URL and come and paste it back here. Now that you've pasted it, hit register, and you're done. So this is like a big chunk of what we needed to do. So Azure actually creates an ID, an application ID for this, and a directory ID. Now these are unique. So what I have here is not going to match what you have. Yours is going to be unique. Nobody else is going to have that. And we're going to be able to copy each one of these items. So copy the application client ID and go back to SCUTA. Go to the application ID and paste it here. Next, copy the directory ID and come back to SCUTA and paste it here. Next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the management part, and we're going to go through branding, authentication, certificates and secrets, API, and exposing the API. So here what we're going to start off is with branding. In the branding section, we've got name, we'll call it SCUTA. And now these items, we've made it easy for you. You'll be able to copy and paste these URLs and the file, the logo from SCUTA. So go back to SCUTA here, click on the new logo, and now it'll download. Now that it's downloaded, you're able to find the folder that it's in. Normally it's in the downloads directory. So if you click on the show in folder, it'll tell you where it's at. Come back to Azure and click here on the icon, which basically specifies the file, and you'll have an open direct dialog here. Specify the file that you have. So look for the SCUTA Outlook 365 ping, click on it, double click on that. When you click on it once, it comes here, hit OK, or just double click on it there. And now the icon will automatically appear here. Now we've got 3 more items here. So each one of these items, these URLs, we can copy from SCUTA and paste here. So go to SCUTA and one at a time, copy these URLs and paste them here. These are going to be fixed. You could just type it here if you would like. If you could see this clearly, you could type them. It's safer just to copy and paste. Next, hit save, and you'll see that this notification will come up. Update application properties successful. Okay. Now, you can go to Authentication now and just verify that you have this here. In some situations, it seems like this doesn't appear. You know where to get it. You can get it right from here, copy it, and paste it back. Next, we're going to go into certificates and secrets. We need a unique ID. Again, this is going to be totally unique, so create a new client secret. You can type in the word here. We're just going to say SCUTA. Make sure that it never expires. That way you don't have to refresh it every year. And then click Add. Now that you've added it, this is very important. This value is going to be hidden in the future. So it's a secret value. So it's the way that we communicate confidentially between the two devices. You can copy this. Make sure you have a copy. Come back to SCUTA, paste it here under the certificates, and hit Save. Okay. Now come here into the permissions. So we've got the API permissions, add permission, and go down to the bottom here to the exchange. This is where we're going to specify what we're getting, delegate the permissions, and this is where we're asking to be able to read and write from your calendar. So we're telling Exchange, hey, you know what? We're going to be reading and writing to this user's calendar. So click here, and now this will open up, and here's where we're specifying calendars, read and write. So read and write user calendars. So that's it, and then hit add permissions. Next, grant administration. So we're going to the API permissions, grant consent, hit yes, and we're good there. Next, we're going to go to expose an API, and we're going to add a scope to it. So this is just for programming. Save and continue here. And finally, we're going to go to the scope. So on the scope, it's just asking for text. So we're going to put in the name. You can type anything you want. I'm just putting SCUTA-read-write-calendar, and the same thing for everything. And then I'm just going to add the scope. So click. Now we've done it. So we're pretty much done here with the Microsoft Azure part. Come back here. These are the three pieces of information that we really need, and we've set it up so we've got the rights and everything. Click on, now we're done. Make sure you hit save, and you could click on Authenticate with 365. What this would do now is, as long as you're able to authenticate, now we're showing you this screen. So the last step that we need to do is to configure this. Now, what this is going to do is we're going to specify if you're going to be importing Outlook events to SCUTA and if you're going to be exporting Outlook events to SCUTA. Now, it specifies future events and past events. You could export future events and past events. Once again, make sure that you have something checked here and hit save. After that, you should see here that everything's been done. So basically you're going to have, if you have events in your calendar, we'll import them and we'll export them. Here it shows you the current status, how many it's imported of how many, and so on and so on. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you could always enter them in the question and answer section here, or you could email us or call us directly at 833-88-SCUTA. Thanks.